Hello and welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today is February 25th, 2023, and this is episode 50. Yay!
Episode 50.
My name is Roz, and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia, Canada, with my husband.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And my two kids, who are 12 and 11. I have to think about that every time.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
It feels right.
Yeah, we got like 3 more weeks.
And then they'll be 11 and 13.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Do they go backwards?
No,
No.
definitely not. He's definitely full teenager.
Yeah.
Today for you, we have What Am I Wearing? Works in Progress, Events, a special segment for episode 50, Questions with Mike, and some chatter.
All right.
Let's get started, shall we?
We shall.
What am I wearing?
Clothes. Wait, no, I can do this.
No, we cut.
Oh.
And then I put up the graphic with the little music, what am I wearing? And then we talk about it.
Okay. Cut.
Today, I'm wearing a few hand knits, actually. I am wearing my colorful geometry cowl, and it will be, pattern information will be up here. This was knit out of my Advent yarn from 2021, which is a ginger snap that in her fingering sock base. And and I knit the matching hat, which I'm not wearing today because I just did my hair.
I like ginger snap stuff.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Because it's ginger snaps or because...
It's nice yarn.
Oh, it's nice yarn. Yeah. I enjoy it. It's got lots of colors on it.
It does.
I don't want to move my mic too much, but it's got
See?
lots of colors. Mike.
Moving your
Mike.
Mike. Yeah. We like puns here. We have fun. So tell us more about your shawl.
It's not a shawl, it's a cowl.
Damn it. I was so close, guys. I'm trying here. I did research.
Did you do research?
No, I did not at all. So the difference between a cowl and a shawl, if you don't know, is a shawl has 2 ends, but a cowl just goes on forever and ever and ever.
Yep.
Sort
A
of.
cowl is a loop that goes over your head.
Yeah.
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 And a shawl is more like a scarf, but usually a different shape.
Exactly.
Although there are like rectangular shawls as well. Scarves are usually thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say about this, but I will also talk about my sweater. This is the Ease sweater that I customized the neckline on, and you probably, if you've been watching for a while, have seen this a lot because I knit this in November for Nanasuemo. And the yarn is a Patton's Classic wool, so it's just 100% wool in the dark marl. So it is a dark 2 strands of the dark gray and 1 strand of light gray, so you get this lovely marled effect.
I really like that look.
Yeah, I do too.
Most of my t-shirts are heather, which is the same kind of feel. Right?
Yeah. Heather's more like tweed though.
Yeah.
Yeah, spots. Yeah. But yeah. And I am wearing hand knit socks, as are you. And I will put some pictures in here. What do you have on today? Oh, you have some Harry Potter socks on.
I have my Hogwarts socks on.
Yeah.
So these are my second favorite Hogwarts hand knit socks.
Yeah.
Which is how much knitwear I get. And my favorites, I worked all the way through the heel.
You did.
And you had to repair them, and I'm sure that you showed that on your podcast like 10 episodes ago.
And the yarn is a self-striping yarn from Mustache Yarns, and that's your favorite one to wear, I think.
Mustache?
Yeah.
I do like Mustache, yeah. Hey, Mustache.
I don't think they watch.
You never know, they might.
Maybe they do. Comment below if you're watching.
There you go. Hello to Rosalind's public.
And I'm wearing my Twinkle Socks, which is a self-striping yarn from Gauge Dye Works. And I don't remember who the pattern's by, but it was a yarn pattern combo where you get like Christmas lights. But I just think they look pretty, so I wear them. But I'm not going to hold my feet up. I talk about this all the time. I'm wearing these socks, but I'm not going to show you.
I'm here to help. Like, do you want me to hold your feet up?
No.
No.
No, it's
We're
just weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah. I have no other knitwear on, but because I'm always too hot.
Yeah.
But I have
And
lots
I'm
of
always
other
too
knitwear.
cold.
Yes.
Actually, so I was watching the Cozy Up Knits podcast, and Jamie, who has recently turned 40, was talking about now that you're over 40, if the back of your neck is cold, you're just cold. So this is why I knit so many cowls, because I can just wear a little something on the back of my neck because I'm over 40, and now I'm warm and not cold.
Yeah, and unlike a scarf, you don't have to do like
No,
the
I don't
fiddly,
have to.
it just
It just hangs there. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Guys, you learn something every day from this podcast. You're welcome.
All right. Shall we move on?
Sure, yeah.
Works in progress. My one and only work in progress this week is my Hinterland sweater. This is Hinterland by Jennifer Steinglass. It is a colorwork top-down yoke sweater. And last week I had showed you progress on the sleeve. Oh goodness.
Is that like a sweater that you wear in a convertible?
No.
A top-down sweater?
No, you just knit it from the top down.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is the back. Okay, so you've seen this before.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
And I have my completed sleeve with the beautiful color work on the sleeve.
Pause for applause.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I have just started the color work on this sleeve. But I wasn't really paying attention and I did it wrong, so now I have to tink it back.
I thought it was frog.
No, that's when you rip something out.
Oh.
It's because I'm going back stitch by stitch.
That's
so it's
tinking?
knit backwards is tink.
It is.
Yeah. You're learning more.
It's amazing.
Anyway, so my needles are like in a weird spot because I just have to, I have a few more stitches to tink back. And then yeah. But yeah, so
Very
I've done
nice
all my decreases, matching the other sleeve. This is my underarm marker that I measure from. And yeah, they are perfectly matching. I did it, guys. So yep, I started the color work. Hopefully I'll finish the color work in the sleeve this weekend because the color work needs concentration. And I'm just sit in my chair and relax and knit. No movies, no nothing.
No distracting husband.
No.
Yeah.
You'll have to go play video games.
I'm very distracting. It's like having a border collie all the time. Just, hey. It's tough. It's tough, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the yarn that I'm using for this is Cascade 220 fingering in the dark plum and buff colorways. So it's a very light gray.
It's a really nice combo.
Yeah. It's working up good. And then, as I talked about last week, will have to finish the body, and we will just have to see how much yarn I have left to do the body.
Right.
So
it might be a crop, is what you're saying?
Well, I have options.
I mean, it's better than knitting from the bottom up and just having it stop here.
Yeah.
Right? Better to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and this is always the debate on whether to knit, to knit a top-down sweater or a bottom-up sweater.
Right.
The same with socks, right?
Yeah.
I knit all of your socks toe up because then I can use all of the yarn and get really tall socks.
I like them
Right?
right up to my thighs. Just
But
as
I
high
don't
as possible.
like a really tall sock. I like some probably about 6 inches of length on the leg of the sock.
So I have a question. As for the top-down, bottom-up sweater thing.
Yep.
And so why wouldn't you start with a sock? You start at the toe and work your way out, but you can also start at the cuff and work your way to the toe, right?
Yes.
So for a sweater, why wouldn't you start at one sleeve and just knit across to the other side,
There are sweaters like that.
and then you would have different length sleeves as like a design ethic?
Oh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I have seen sweaters where you start at one sleeve and knit across and then...
Like if someone said,
the
"Hey,
other
how
sleeve.
come your sleeves are different lengths?" You could say, "Well, this was just a smaller sheep, and so this is all they had to give." Because I think that's how it works.
No. I mean,
No?
the wool from one sheep can make probably more than one regular size sweater.
Probably.
Yeah. Depends on how thick you spin it as well.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments. And I just want to let you know right now, remember to crush that like and subscribe button. We are only 999,950 subscribers away from monetizing this thing. And And it'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
not, eh?
It could happen one day.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends. There you go. So yeah, that is my one and only work in progress, except for my secret knitting project, which nobody can know about.
No.
He knows about.
I know about it.
It's pretty cool. But I will, before they are gifted, I will make sure to show you guys whether it's a clip that I insert or something, so you will see it here. But can't see it yet, just in case.
No.
So let's move on to events. So for events, I still have the same events as last week, so I'll just go through them real quick. First up, we have the Northern Knits Anniversary Knit Along, which I am doing the amethyst shawl, which I did not work on this week or last week. I don't remember the last time I pulled it out, but it will get done before the end of March. Actually, I think I might pull it out today and take it with us this afternoon.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I have the Imagine Knitting Cowl, which is from Imagine Landscapes podcast. And there, that one, I'm entering the Stormborn shawl. I'm still on the fence of whether I will finish that by the end of March. Lace knitting from 2 charts at a time is turning out to be more complicated than I had expected.
Is this a Game of Thrones reference?
Yes.
Stormborn chart?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's the dragon scale in the light gray and purple.
Ooh.
Yeah. With the
Nice.
sparkle yarn from Fireweed Fiber Co.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to glitter, so.
It's not glitter.
Okay, good.
It's Stellina.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. It's not. Who puts glitter in yarn?
I don't know. It's just glitter in everything these
Yeah,
days.
that's true.
Yeesh.
And the last one, which my hinterland is being entered in, is the We Have Yarn for That podcast, their birthday make-along, which ends at the end of this month. Do you think I can finish my hinterland sweater by the end of this month?
Well, it's kind of unfair because this month doesn't give as much as the rest of the months.
Yeah, but it's only 2 days.
Yeah, it's 2 days can make all the difference.
Maybe. We'll see. Maybe if I finish my sleeve today, then I just have the rest of the body. Maybe I can finish it by, what's it, Tuesday? Wednesday is the last day of the month?
Something like that, yeah. I also really like that, I mean, I know you're slipping back and forth between knit along and make along, but I really like the inclusive nature of the make along, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily...
Yes, and
Knitting
all of them,
only, right? Which
yeah,
is pretty
and
cool.
we do say knit along a lot
Yeah.
when we're referring to these things,
Yeah.
but all of the ones that I refer to are make along. So crochet is welcome, any kind of yarn craft generally is welcome. Of course, check the rules on the websites that are linked below to make sure if you're entering them, but I am participating in those 3. And the last event that I'm participating in is February. And I'm behind again on my posts. I'm just having a hard time figuring out what to post for the word community, because there's so much about the yarn community that I enjoy, but I just don't know how to capture it in a photo. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah, lots of people have been posting photos of like yarn events they've gone to, like Rhinebeck or Vogue Knitting Live just happened, or other, like I've been to Yarn Okanagan and things like that. But I don't have like big group shots like that. So I'm just at a loss of what to post. So maybe I'll just skip that one.
Yeah,
Move on to today's.
We just Photoshop 15 pictures of you knitting all together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could do that.
sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that is a challenge over on Instagram, and you can follow the hashtag linked here. And yeah, that is it for events. And we're going to move on to our special segment, Questions for Mike.
All right. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm going in blind.
Okay.
All right, we'll do it live. We'll
So
do it live.
Mike has not seen any of these questions per his request. So
Yep.
I'm going to read them out, and then yeah, we'll go from there.
It's going to be fine.
So
We can do this.
our first set of questions is from Nicole,
Hi, Nicole.
and she asks, and this is more a question for us, but
Sure.
does Taylor knit? And if not, is she interested in learning it?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Taylor finger knits,
Yeah.
and I think she will be interested in learning it. Taylor's patience levels are a bit closer to my patience levels, so which is not a bad thing. It's just
No.
a different thing.
No.
So I think that early 2020, we did a project where Roz tried to teach me to knit, because I'm like, hey, if we could knit together, we would be twice as productive, obviously.
But we're talking
we
about
love knitwear.
Taylor.
Yeah, but again, right? Like
Yeah.
trying to try to teach someone to knit in the family.
Yeah,
right?
no, and I've taught Taylor how to knit.
Yeah.
She knows the rhyme. We have the Annie and the Swiss cheese scarf book, and it talks about this little girl who's learning to knit, and then there's like big holes in her scarf, so it looks like Swiss cheese. And
Yeah.
then as she gets better and better, there's fewer holes, and she figures out how to fix stuff, and then it has like the little rhyme on, in through the front door, down around the back door, peek through the window, and off jumps Jack.
Right.
Which is better than the other one. I showed you that.
I'm sure you did. Yeah, you showed me lots of things.
I'll link to the TikTok video that's not appropriate for this YouTube channel.
All right.
Okay, so Nicole's second question is...
Oh, Nicole, twofer.
Yeah.
Go, Nicole.
Where do we go quadding?
Oh, my goodness. Lots of
There.
different places. So like there and there and there. Yeah, all around us. If you're familiar with the Okanagan, we go up a place called Postal. So it's all basically FSR logging roads, things like that, that we head up. And we quad up there. We also quad at an off-road vehicle reserve area. There were off-road vehicles riding in this area and kicking up dirt and getting into the waterways of the local community. And so instead of shutting it down, what they did was they partnered with the community and made a reserve, and it's completely maintained and everything. That's called Bear Creek. And sometimes
you buy like a pass to go for either the day or like a season pass, and then they use that money to maintain the trails and
There's camping
signage
up
and
there.
camping. Yep.
It's really nice. It's a ways from where we live, but nice.
Yeah,
to
it's
go to.
over an hour to get there.
Yeah, and there's some places in the States, Republic, Washington, we
Yep.
like to quad at.
Yeah.
But it's been a fun 5-6 years of quadding with the kids and getting them out and seeing nature, and it just gets us further in than we could hike in a day.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. Good.
Thanks for your questions, Nicole.
Moving on. Deborah asks, "What do you teach?"
Deborah. Hey, Deb. Good to hear from you. I teach accounting and finance. And I was trying to figure out a way to make that sound interesting, but I've been doing it for 7 years, and as my students would tell you, I still haven't. I'm a college prof, and I teach accounting and finance at our local college here. So
Yeah.
it's a good gig.
Do you have a favorite course that you teach?
I do. I have a few favorites. So I really like anything that brings the theoretical concepts together to build on everything that students have learned. So I'm teaching a 4th year class right now that's a capstone. It's really fun. So there's not really anything new in it. What we're doing is we're taking a bunch of little things that they've learned from all around and bringing them together and having them do a lot of critical thinking and creative problem solving, casework and stuff like that. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
You do enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I really do. It's a good gig.
You also have a captive audience every day of the week.
The extrovert's dream is to have 40 people that just can't leave a room for 3 hours, right? It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. It's done wonders for our relationship because now she's got 12 fewer hours she's got to listen to me talk, so it's nice. It's good. Works out well.
Oh dear. And Deborah has a second question.
Oh, double down for Deb.
Have you ever tried knitting? We alluded to this before, and I actually pulled out.
I have. So I see why you shut me down on that. Oh, she just dumped it all over. It was a full sweater, and she just frogged the entire thing. Guys, I did so. I did try knitting, and this is just I knit for like a month, and that's as far as I got. I'm very proud of my whatever this is. Beginnings of nothing. Might have been a dish towel, something.
Yeah, well, it's an acrylic yarn. I started you off with an acrylic, just because it was there, and
I think it's tough too.
We just
right?
did he's in the middle of a row, but he just did a garter stitch. I cast on a bunch of stitches. I did the first row because the first row is always fiddly, and then let you at her, and I think it's pretty good.
It was all right. I had to focus really. It'd be like getting married to an NHL player and having them be like, oh, let's go play hockey together, right?
Yeah.
It's I see Roz doing it, and she's like doing 17 things at a time and doing this, and then in 20 minutes there's like an entire beautiful sweater. Whereas I was the whole way through. So it's different times, but
Yeah.
it's something I might pick up again.
Yeah.
We got a big trip in the summer planned, and
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have something that was meditative. I love doing meditations and things like that, and I found knitting was very much like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the thing, because I've been knitting for so long, just if I'm just knitting, even in the round or back and forth or whatever, it is very meditative, because my hands know what to do. I don't need to think about like, oh, do this, then do this, then do this, right? Like it just happens. So that muscle memory is there, and then I can just decompress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great skill, as I'm sure you guys can appreciate, having watched 50 hours or whatever of this podcast and seeing what Roz has made. But no, it's a great skill.
Yeah. So Jen, along with some other people, asked, how did we meet?
How did we meet? Tinder. No, we met before the internet, kids.
Yep.
Yes, there was a time.
Oh, there was internet.
There was internet, yeah. So we met at the Legion on Commercial Drive. I was teaching dance, and so was Roz, partner dance stuff, and we had friends who connected us together. And it was love at first sight for me, and not so much for Roz. But I wore her down, and she went out with me eventually.
It didn't take long.
It really did. But here's the thing, right? Like, I know that, again, if you're under 30, you've probably never called anyone before. But back in the day, you would get someone's phone number. Like, hey, can I get your phone number? No. Ask for her email address? No. What I got was her ICQ number. And I don't know if you're old enough to know what ICQ is, then welcome to the party. But it was that memory. And yeah. So I started wearing her down, and hey, let's go dancing, let's hang out, and yeah. So we met dancing, and then we spent the next 5 years, 5-6 nights a week going out dancing, and we danced a lot.
Yeah, all through university.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah,
So
dance has always been a big part of both of our lives.
That was our friend group, right? Not everyone, but a lot of the people that we hung out with on a regular basis all did that. So,
Yeah.
Yep, that's how we met. And you were 20 and I was 19.
There we go.
So it was a long time ago.
23 years this year.
Yeah.
23 years. That's like a functional adult. Theoretically.
Theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, Gen Zs, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, still. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was, and I can't believe it was that long ago. And at the time, I know that you've always been crafty.
Yes.
And she's just my type. If you guys get that reference. But you weren't the prolific knitter that you are now.
Correct.
I think that's I don't know if I'm just, let me know if I'm stepping on any future questions.
Nope.
But I have a question for you.
Okay.
When did you really start to ramp up in it? Because you're at the point now where I would imagine if we valued artistic works in the way that we should, you're at the top of your game. And I would put Roz up there with anybody. And she watches a lot of knitting podcasts, so I see it's just sort of like I get the splashback from it. So she's amazing.
Thank you.
But when did you hit that level instead of it being like a hobby? Now it's more of a
when I go from a
passion,
lowercase K knitter to an uppercase K knitter.
Yeah, like you identify as a knitter. Yeah. Because you used to identify as a dancer, right? And now I think it's probably knitter.
Yeah.
First.
I don't know. Yeah. That's a tough one.
In and around 2010, like in and around.
Yeah,
having
once
kids,
the kids were born, I think it started ramping up when we moved up here.
Yeah.
More, because I feel like I had more time on my hands. Because we were both just working full time.
Yeah.
We didn't have kids yet. Like I had
So much time.
we had way more time.
How much of a time sink kids are. We love them.
Oh yes.
If you're watching this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think, and I think with some of our friends starting to have babies, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to knit them baby blankets and stuff. I think that kind of push to make some bigger projects on a more time deadline.
Yeah.
Then I was like, okay, every night I'm knitting and then it just has gone from there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I can't pinpoint like a day or like a year that it's flipped over.
Right.
But I couldn't imagine we just went away for a few days to Big White, and I couldn't imagine going away for 3 days and not
bringing a project or two.
At least 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And in the end, I was very reserved to this trip, and I only brought 2 because I wanted to work on my sweater. I got to get it done.
It's an important project.
It's a very important project, and my secret knitting. It's very important.
Secret.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone. It's classified.
It's classified.
Classified.
Yeah. Okay, so
Thanks,
I have.
Jen and others for that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a couple questions for you,
Oh,
and maybe you've already answered them. But
Okay.
what do you think about my knitting?
I think it's amazing. I think it's brilliant. I think that that you should be as famous as anyone else with that level of talent. It's the truth. We don't value all skills the same, and it's a shame. No, I think it's brilliant. I love it. I mean, I love it first of all because it's something that you love and it's important. Second of all, I get cool stuff. Right? Like, who would love that? That's awesome. No, I get really cool stuff. The kids have, they're always warm. Their feet and their hands and their heads are always warm, and we always have cool things going. And so, no, I when I think of you knitting, I really love it. I also love that it's something that you can do because you're at the level you're at, and you can still be there and be knitting. So for me, it's not like if we're sitting down and having a conversation and you've got knitting on, it's not like your attention is completely. Right, so it'd be different if you're having a conversation and you're scrolling Instagram or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but not really our bag. But if you're sitting and knitting and we're having a conversation, it's I'm still getting your full attention, right? It's something that can happen. So it's just really cool, and it's productive, and it's beautiful. And I think we both really like pretty things, right?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that has grown in my knitting over the years is picking yarns that fit better with the project, or if I have like a self-striping sock yarn, trying not to put like a pattern into it too, right? Like just letting the yarn shine, or like the sweater is a very plain knit sweater, but because it's marled, the yarn kind of does the work for you, right?
Yep.
Whereas this, I picked a very plain pattern, and the yarn, changing to a different color every 14 rows, makes it the project that it is, which made it more complicated, but, so having that experience makes it anyway.
Yeah, so I think it's super cool. I think the kids think it's super cool when they, when they're thinking of mom, they think of you as as a knitter, right?
Yeah.
I think of you more as a crafter, because I know that you've got other crafty. Yeah. I mean, we've got, you guys can't see it, but like right there's a pastel that we've got framed that you did when you were
I could take a picture of it,
younger,
put it in.
and
It does have glass on it, so it's a little hard.
And you sew
but
stuff for
I
us
do,
too,
yeah.
and so yeah.
Yeah, and I help the kids with their any sort of project that requires painting or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got basically our downstairs kitchen is our craft area, so it's got paints and pastels and other fabric stuff, and I don't know, just full of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Rosalind, for your question. Did you have any more?
I do. What is your most favorite project that I've ever made?
Okay, so this is a great question. I've actually got a couple different answers in this area, if I may.
Yep.
I mean, feel free to skip through this. It's just going to be me talking for a while, and who wants that? I think my favorite project is the combo dress and caramel dress that you made for Taylor and
Oh,
Caramel.
yeah.
I love it. So Roz knit this super cute dress for our daughter, and our daughter's Stuffy our daughter told us that her Stuffy wanted a dress to match. So the dress had some rainbow color work in it. Am I saying this right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, the Taylor sweater had
the sweater did, yeah.
Yeah.
And so Roz took the rainbow out of that and made Caramel, the Stuffy, a little dress, and it is adorable, and they're matching, and that kind of thing is really cool when we tie it into the whole family. So I think that's probably my favorite project. It's not because it's not mine. Like I love my socks because I there's nothing like hand knit socks. I don't care. I agree. I don't know if any of you are Potter heads as well, Harry Potter fans. But when Dumbledore's looking in the mirror of Erised, and Harry asks him what he sees, and of course spoiler alert, we know that's not really what he sees, but he says, "Oh, a nice pair of hand knit socks." And I agree. I mean, he doesn't specify hand knit, but we all know what he meant, right? Yeah, I agree. Hand knit socks are amazing. They're my favorite. I do have a great shame project.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So I bugged Roz for like 5 years to knit me a flying V. So if you're a Canucks fan or if you know anything about the NHL, the Canucks used to have a jersey that was like this like super hideous orange and yellow and black V. So they called it the flying V jersey. I always wanted one, and I didn't understand. This is back before I think either of us really understood the nature of yarn. And I was like, oh, every time I wear a sweater, I'm itchy and I'm overheated. And so Roz decided to knit it in cotton, right?
Yeah, it's a cotton blend, but it's mostly cotton.
Yeah, and so it weighs about 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it really does.
And it took you like 3 years to finish this
Well,
thing.
and because it's
And
a
I've
cotton
worn it-
acrylic, it was really difficult to knit. I could only knit on it for so long before my wrist started hurting. So
It genuinely does weigh a ton. And I've worn it once. And so I always feel, every time I look at that, I'm like, ooh.
you wore it curling. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wore it curling.
Yeah.
But it's so heavy.
Yeah, it is. It really is. It was not,
Yeah.
once I'd purchased the yarn, then I was like, well, now I have all of this cotton yarn
have to-
that can't really be used for
I think
anything else.
That's the orange from it.
No, this is
That's something
acrylic.
else? Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
this
it's
is
acrylic,
from
okay,
Cooper's Stripey Toque.
Oh, right, okay.
But yeah, so once I had the yarn, then I was like, well, I have to finish this thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can post a pic.
Oh, I'll put a picture in of it. Yeah.
But I do feel shame whenever I see it because I'm like, oh, she worked so hard on this thing and I just hate it.
Yeah, I think. Socks definitely. I've knit you a few hats that you really like.
I love. Okay, so when when Star Wars got revived again, not the yippee one, but the one for the last three of the trilogy.
Yeah.
When the Force Awakens came out, there was a pattern which I don't know if you know whose pattern. Anyway, it was a pattern came out.
I will put the details
for
in.
it, and it's a Star Wars hat, and I still wear that all the time.
Yeah.
I asked for a super bright dead fish hat to make it look like
Yep.
the fish was eating my head.
Yep.
Somebody put it on with it. Yeah. And I like
And
that.
see,
hat.
you're crafty too, because you made the eyes out of that Fimo clay for that I sewed on.
I feel like that's a real participant trophy thing of me to say, but I helped too. It's like the Mikey thing, and I helped. Yeah, for sure. And then you made sock puppets, sock puppet yarn hats. For
Oh yeah, for
all
the curling team,
crew.
for your curling team.
Yeah.
Yep. Sock monkey.
Sock monkey. Sorry, there we
Yeah.
go. Yeah. And so yeah, lots of fun projects. You're always knitting stuff. Oh, the teacher project, which you would have seen, the teacher gifts with the pencil and the
Yeah, that was last year. Yeah,
That was last year?
The mitts.
The mitts, the
Yeah.
roll down mitts were cool.
Yeah.
Oh, one more thing. Sorry.
Okay,
One more
that's
thing,
okay.
guys.
Go ahead.
Sorry, and I'm ready for a new version of these. But I love gaming, and sometimes when I'm a console gaming, my hands get cold, right? Because you got the controller here, and so
And you're in the basement.
I'm in the basement where I belong. And Roz knit me these cool bracers. So basically fingerless mitts.
Yeah.
And thumbless. So that I can continue my gaming, but my wrists don't get cold.
Yeah. And it helps keep the rest, even though your fingers are out, it helps keep the rest of your hand warm because the blood flow is still going and it's warmer. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, you are due for, I think you should take a look at Cooper's, the purple ones I made for Cooper.
Yeah.
And see if you like that style because they're a bit thinner.
Yeah, I'm thinking essentially sock yarn,
Yeah.
but without the
Yeah, and that's what Cooper's are.
And if you do hit that like and subscribe button, you can watch for the future project.
Yeah.
when those get made over the summertime.
Maybe
so
that'll
we're
be
ready
a
for the
next
fall.
on my needles.
Who knows? Probably not. But you never know. It could happen, right?
No,
Yeah.
next on my needles is that dice bag that I showed you.
Oh,
I already talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I'm like, I gotta finish my sweater.
Okay.
Then I can cast on something new.
I have a question for you.
For me,
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've knit many things.
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you haven't yet knit that you're most excited to try? I gave her no preparation for this, which Roz, if you know Roz, you know she loves surprises. Because you get it when you're working on stuff.
we were
you get into a rhythm, right?
Yeah, we were just talking about, because I'm wearing a sweater and I'm wearing a cowl and socks currently that are hand knit.
Yeah.
But I don't have any pants that are hand knit.
No.
So that's definitely there. I have a pair in my queue that look really interesting, and they're out of fingering weight, so they would be, light enough to wear underneath something as like a warm layer. We'll have to see. I don't know. So that's definitely something that I want to tackle that challenge.
Right.
At some point. and I have to have the kind of the right yarn for it, I think. I think, I don't know if there's something else.
Cool.
Not like a pattern genre, like a
Yeah,
yeah.
there's like I'm working up to my Mount Everest, and it's this
Well,
it's
I
this
feel like
crazy color work sweater.
yeah, and I feel
something
like the
that.
hinterland is like a test of the color work because it's light fingering weight, so it's so
Yeah.
fine. And I have been working on it for more than a year.
It is genuinely. You probably can't get it through
I
the
didn't
through the
work
video,
on
but
it.
it's genuinely
Yeah.
gorgeous, guys. It really is.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, it is.
No,
It's
and
beautiful.
I'm very excited about it, but I'm also enjoying the process of it. So it's one of those balances, and I think that for me, I'm a process knitter.
Yeah.
I love the end products, and I love wearing the end products.
Yeah.
But if I had finished this last month or in 2 months, it wouldn't have made any difference to me.
You're
Right?
in it
So
for the knitting, not necessarily the FO.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because some people are project knitters, they want the thing, and some people are process knitters.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a combo, but more on the process side, I would say. So,
Cool.
yeah. I think doing more color work, cables is something that I haven't, like I've done some cables, like I did that gray hat recently
Yep.
for Mom's friend. And, like I can do cables, but I haven't really like dived into doing cables. So I think that's a technique that I,
Yeah.
at some point I really want to learn how to cable without a cable needle, and to kind of do like a bigger cable project, like a cabled sweater or something more, complete in that sense. So
Yeah.
cables is something that I would like to tackle. Lace I've done a lot of, so shawls and stuff
So
have lace.
cable would be like we're talking like Colin Firth's sweater in Love
Yeah.
Actually.
Yep.
Just a big chunky cabled. I wish I could wear something like that. But looking at
You
that
would,
sweater,
you would
makes me
die of
overheat.
heat exhaustion immediately.
I'd need to wear one of those like ice packs underneath it to keep me cool, right?
Yeah. I think a future
Yeah.
project for you above the socks would be a fingering weight vest.
Oh.
Yeah, like a sweater vest.
Like a Matt Mercer style open at the front sweater vest for when I'm DMing.
No, like a pullover sweater vest.
Okay.
I think a light one of those.
I feel like Professor Mike could rock
Yeah.
a sweater vest, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it would be good underneath, like when you go up skiing, because it would keep your core insulated
Right.
without it being. And then you'd still have your sleeves kind of free to move around, like you do this skiing.
That's what I do. That's exactly what I do while I'm skiing. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
And you were worried we wouldn't have enough content.
I know,
told you
40 minutes of recording.
It's very hard to stop me from talking once I start. So.
Well, let's move on to the last segment, which is chatter.
I think we just did chatter.
Yeah, we did.
Guys, we just did chatter, but we can keep
No,
chatting.
well, so chatter is kind of where I talk a little bit about some things that have happened in my life or stuff like that.
Oh.
So, yeah. First up is books. I have finished no books last week.
It's shameful.
I know.
You're way off track.
I am. No, I'm not, actually.
But the good news is, I'm going to jump in here.
Yeah.
I know you're used to just talking to the camera,
I
but
am.
I'm right here.
Yeah.
The good news is, I have been trying to get Roz to read this book for 6 months.
Yeah, probably since the summer, yeah.
And she has committed to, now that she's finished this.
I'm on the last book of, what is the series called? Anyway, it's Ruby Flames, I think is what I'm reading right now.
It's not a trilogy, it's a sixology.
Yeah, well, there's like 2 trilogies put together because there's one sister and then the other sister.
So she's going to be done this book.
Yep.
And she has told me, and we're putting this.
it's
This is going
committed.
on
I
because
am
then she's going to
committed
talk
now.
about it now. Yeah. So she's gonna read this book, and
Yeah.
it's called Kith and Kin. It's a critical role book about Vex and Vax.
It's,
If you know what that is.
It's backstory, right?
It's
On their
backstory about when
characters.
they're kids, and then a little bit, and
Yeah.
it was really fun, and I
So-
enjoyed it, and so.
Yeah.
So that's what's not next on your needles, but that's what's
Next in
your
my book
queue,
queue.
in your book queue.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yep, I've already, a book came in from the library yesterday and I just delayed it.
Rejected.
Yep. I didn't reject it,
Right.
delayed it, because I still want to be top of the list, but I can't read it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
normally, as I've mentioned a few times on here, I read on my Kobo. However, Kith and Kin, we have the physical copy of the book.
And it's a hardcover.
And it's like, it's a decent sized book.
It's been a while since I've seen you read a physical
I know.
book. Outside of we're reading the Song of Ice and Fire series
Yes.
together.
But I read that on my Kobo.
Oh yeah, right.
You read it. So we sit down.
So there you go.
I've talked about this a few times as well, but we sit down every so often.
It
More.
It should
It's gonna be
every
a
night.
goal.
It really should be every night.
I think that should be our like March goal, is to read like 5 times a week together.
I think what happens, guys,
we don't
is...
read to each other. We just
Oh
sit
my God,
next to
no.
each other. You read your copy and I read my copy.
That'd be
That somebody
amazing.
asked me that. They're like, "Do you read to
I'm
each
gonna
other?"
do,
No.
I'm actually in for that. We should get teleplays, and we'll
Yep.
I'll do the boy voices, you do the girl voice. Actually, you know what? I want to do all the voices.
Okay.
And you do
Deal.
the setup.
All right.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can
So
do that.
here's the reason that we miss out on getting to read together. The key to any relationship is communication, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to keep the communication as little as possible is what you want. Kids, if you're listening, this is what you want to do.
Sarcasm.
But we tend to just sit and hang out and talk to each other a lot. And
We
then
do.
we get tired because our
Yep.
children
Keep
are
us up
staying up
late.
later.
Yeah.
And so it's not like it's 8 o'clock where they go to bed and we're like, oh, we've got all this time.
No.
Um,
No,
yeah.
by the time they go to bed, we're exhausted, and then what?
And then what do you do? Yeah. It's hard to dive
No,
into.
but one thing we have been talking about, and we did some of last year, and probably the year before as well, is having family reading time.
Yeah.
So we just, after dinner, we pick one night a week where we all just, like, no screens and just sit and read, and because we
did a
all
lot
do
of that
enjoy it.
In the summertime, we did
Yeah.
a lot of that when it was...
Because we'd sit out on the deck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, or if it was too hot to
Yeah.
be out in the
Then
afternoon.
we'd sit
it was
inside,
like
but yeah.
40 degrees
Yeah.
plus, then we'd sit inside and read.
Yeah.
We were good about that. You'd think it'd be better in the winter, but the winter's just activities and
Yeah, we're just, there's just a lot going on.
very busy.
Yeah, children are busy.
But
Well, and we're busy too.
remember to keep Roz committed to Kith and Kin.
Yep,
It's
Kith and
happening
Kin
next.
is next.
'Cause we have friends who have read it, and I'm like, we all want to talk about this with
No spoilers. I'm
everyone.
gonna read it. I'm gonna read it.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
Yeah. A lot of the, not a lot. Some of the things that you read are graphic novels,
I do.
and I don't find those very enjoyable. I find them difficult to read because
Yeah.
there's the picture and the words, and then I get caught up in just reading the words, and then I miss the picture, or I just spend so much time trying to figure out how I'm supposed to read it.
It's just fit for purpose, right?
Yeah.
It's something that you don't enjoy.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Or textbooks, which you don't want to read.
No.
Accounting and finance textbooks.
I really
Neither do my
don't.
students. So it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
The other thing that's been going on is that we're still sick. Hopefully it's not too nasally this week. I was pretty nasally on my show last week.
fine. Everything's fine. Yeah.
So, but this cold has just been
This is the cold that
hanging on.
Yeah.
So we've not been doing a lot. We did do our mini trip up to Big White for a few days, and
did.
you and the kids got out skiing a couple
Like
days.
this.
Yeah.
That's how I ski. Yeah.
You know, ski like
Just-
this.
I got the funk. Just the whole way down. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was good. It was like
Yeah.
minus a billion up there.
It was. And very humid.
Yeah, which is
Which is
odd
very,
for this
very
area.
weird
We don't get a
for-
lot of humidity.
Especially
So
up at that elevation.
yeah.
So I feel like every year we say it's an odd winter or an odd summer or something. And
Well, it's always different. Like this year, we've had like plus temperatures for a long time. Now it's currently -7 outside
Yeah.
and snowing.
So what you're saying is the climate's changing.
Yeah.
Why has no one told us about this?
I don't know.
Come on, science.
Why is this just being
The
introduced to us right now?
first time I've heard of this is right now. Stop screaming at your screens, I promise you.
Welcome to the House of Sarcasm.
It's my first language.
Yeah. Yeah. Some would
Yeah.
say it's your love language.
It is my love language. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it that's been happening in the last week for us.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Today's it's a huge day. Guys, my PSVR 2 is showing up
Oh,
today.
we were actually hoping that it would be delivered while we were recording so he could squee on camera, but
I'm very excited about this. PSVR 2 is coming. I'm a big sim racer, and so I can't wait to play Gran Turismo with the PSVR 2.
Yeah. So
for
he
our
has- I will
anniversary, 5th anniversary, 10th anniversary, something. Roz bought me a sim seat, And so I've got like the full sim
Yeah,
setup,
it's
and now I'm going to have
like the
ends,
racing seat, like a
and no
like
one
a
will
car
ever
racing
see
seat
me again. I'll
with
just
the,
be down
with the
there all the
pedals and the
time.
steering wheel, and now he'll have, because he does it in front of the theater room screen, which is big.
Yeah, it's like a 12 or 14
But this
foot
will be a
screen.
different experience with the virtuals.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very excited about that this week.
and Cooper is very excited too.
He is. He's
Yeah.
not going to get to use it because I will always be using it. But that's
And we're just hoping that it doesn't make Taylor motion sick.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I might try it. We'll see.
Why not? Eh?
Yeah. I wonder,
It's fun.
can we record it?
Mm-hmm.
And record me doing it?
The sky's the limit. Whatever
right.
you want. I've got so
We'll
much.
figure
recording-
that out
I got
later.
so much recording equipment. Ironically, we're sitting on stools in our living room.
I know.
With a phone on selfie mode, recording us.
Yeah.
That's that. This is where technology's come to. But
Well, yeah, no, because that, like, my phone has
which
the
is
best
what you're.
camera.
Yeah, it really does. It's good.
For like general video recording.
Yeah.
You have other DSLRs. You can see these pictures up here and the one behind us, which is hard to see with the reflection. But Mike has taken all of those pictures over the years.
I do like photography.
Yeah. So we have some photography equipment.
We do.
The one thing I noticed about people who use that kind of camera is that when the focus is adjusting, like if I hold something close
Yeah.
and then far away, the focus adjusts, you can hear it
Yeah.
on the microphone.
Yeah.
So I think the phone is a great
This works great.
option.
Yeah.
And it's something I always have with me. So when I'm doing some vlogs or want to capture some things, then I have it with me all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But maybe I'll get to the point where I need like a separate vlogging camera.
Yeah, I mean, just another couple thousand subscribers.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Just like and
you're gonna
subscribe,
have,
guys.
You're going to have a podcast room or a vodcast room.
Ooh, I like it.
Right? Yeah. And then I can do my audio podcast in there too, which I'm falling way behind on. If you play D&D with us, I'm very sorry. I will get it done.
I think Rob and Jen watch sometimes.
Cool. So
Yeah.
there you go, guys. Sorry that Chaotic Neutral is so far behind. I apologize.
No one else hears this but our D&D group, the podcast that you make.
Yeah, no, I create a podcast for 5 people.
Yeah.
But it's of our D&D adventures.
It's like a recap of our D&D adventures.
Yeah.
So that we know what's happening. Yeah. But
fun-
it's super
fun to go
fun.
back and
It's
listen,
fun.
yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, I think we should wrap it up there. Otherwise, we'll just keep rambling for hours.
Totally, yeah.
Awesome. So I hope you enjoyed this video with my special guest. And, comment below on what you liked and what you didn't like. If you have further questions for Mike, I'm sure he'd be happy to come on again. And
And if you didn't like that I was on the podcast, be subtle about it because I'm incredibly insecure. So
I just won't tell him.
so many feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a feelings household.
It's a real feelings household.
Awesome. Well, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
I think it's going great.
I think everyone's going to love it. They're going to want you to be on all the time.
I don't know about that. I am cooking.
Are you?
Very
Really?
warm. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, very warm.
Oh. I'm going to put all these bloopers in at the end.
Can you make me look like a Jason Statham, Ryan Reynolds hybrid in post?
No, I don't know how to do that.
All right.
I know.
I just got to clear my throat.
I know,
for a
it's
second.
fine. Take it. I'm putting all of these clips in at the end.
No,
I'll let you watch the video before I post it.
you can do whatever you want. It's fine. I don't. There's enough embarrassing stuff of me on YouTube. So.
Okay.